Hi, I'm Monica McGurk, author of Dark Hope. Names are a very important part of the story of Dark Hope. And in fact, in one scene, Enoch, the angel/prophet that Michael and Hope find in the desert, spends quite a bit of time talking about the importance of names as signifiers being deep with meaning. So for me, the selection of names for the characters was a really important part of the process. I started with Hope, and for me it was very straightforward choosing her name because I wanted her character, despite all of the challenges she was facing and the difficulties of her journey, to have a story of positivity, of uplift, of belief and expectation. And so her name was very, very easy. It came to me quickly, and it was in fact the first name that I chose of any of the characters in the story. Michael also seemed fairly straightforward as I was selecting his name. I knew I wanted an angel and an ancient angel, and so immediately I turned to the archangels of religious lore to learn about them. And as I explored the histories and stories around each archangel, it seemed to be perfect to have God's soldier, Michael, as the angel who would team up with, perhaps threaten, maybe defend Hope throughout the story that we were telling. The fact that there's a little bit of mystery about his identity across these different religious traditions, including the question of whether he actually is a son of God, is God, is like God, was very intriguing, and I thought added depth to his character as I selected that name. Lucas, on the other hand, was a little bit of a whim, quite frankly. And the choice of his name was really driven by my frustration on an afternoon of writing where I was getting to the introduction of his character. I was working at home and got repeatedly interrupted by a little neighbor child who kept ringing the doorbell, looking for my children to come out and play. And after about the fifth or sixth time, I was very frustrated, and I thought to myself, I can't be mean to this child. He doesn't mean any ill, but I can write him into my book. And so his name became the name for Lucas, the primary villain at the start of Dark Hope, and not, as many people have talked to me about or asked me about, any reference to Lucifer or anything more sinister than that. For more about me and my book, Dark Hope, please visit monicamcgurk.com.